Hi, thank you for your time. Can you tell me about yourself and what you work on and what you study?
Sure. So should I say my name here as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so sure. My name's Faisal Halabeya. I'm a grad student here at UTM. I work in the Department of Chemical and Physical Sciences on biophysics experiments on bacterial competition. So what I'm interested in is if you take two different types of bacteria, you differentiate them somehow, and you maybe give one a selective advantage or make them both equal, and you place them in a confined environment, what happens? Who outcompetes the other, or are they able to coexist in some way? And there are lots of questions related to this that I'm also interested in, but that's the basic overview of it.
Great. You said you are doing grad school.
Yes.
Are you doing your master's or PhD?
Currently, I'm in my master's. I hope to transfer to the PhD in the fall.
Who do you work with?
So my supervisor is Josh Milstein.
And how do you find his supervising ability?
Very good. He is very good at getting you new ideas for what to work on and then giving you some independence to explore them. And he kind of knows a lot about different areas of biophysics. And so he has a lot of good ideas and suggestions when I don't know what to do or when I'm a little bit lost. And I like his supervision style because he kind of trusts us to lead the way in the research, and he's there to support us along the way. But I feel very much like an independent researcher working in a lab. I don't feel like I'm like subordinate to him. So I really like that aspect, and I like working with the people in the lab. I think he creates a really good like collegial environment, and we all have a good time working here.
That's amazing. That definitely should be the goal.
Yeah.
Can you tell me where you did your undergrad and what you studied?
So I did my undergraduate in Boston at Boston University in the US, and I majored in physics, and I had one minor in math, and I had one minor in what was called the core curriculum, which was a sort of liberal arts, philosophy, history, English kind of program that I felt was a nice complement to my STEM studies.
Interesting. Any courses that you think help you significantly in your grad studies?
Most importantly was the undergrad research that I did. I think that was the single thing that prepared me the most for grad school, because that is the majority of what you do in grad school is research. I do think some of the higher level physics courses I took, in particular, it's not actually what I researched, but quantum mechanics was taught by a couple of professors that I think they just kind of instilled the correct mentality of how to think about physics problems and to be accepting of the uncertainty that comes with new physics. Because in your early physics courses, you probably feel like you're learning things that everybody's known for a very long time. But as you go on, you increasingly are learning things that nobody knows or very few people know about. And so I think all those courses that get you to kind of think more open-mindedly. Also, I think it was called statistical physics. I can't remember. It was like thermo, stat mech. That course was very useful, especially in a biophysics context. A lot of those ideas keep coming up. So those were probably the two most useful, as well as I can't pick just one course, but I really did appreciate my core curriculum minor because it gave me a perspective on the world that's a little different than maybe the average scientist has. And so if you have the ability to take a course in something like philosophy, history, something that interests you that's not STEM, I would highly recommend it. It's not like gonna maybe directly, be relevant to what you're working on, but it might shape you into a more well-rounded, interesting person. So I think it's useful.
Amazing advice. Do you have any tips for anybody who likes doing research?
Tips? So if you already know you like research, then I assume you've probably worked in a lab or at least have had exposure to that. And I think what's important is being able to think about what fields in research you like or find interesting, and then try to get experience. I think that's the most important thing, is experience. So if you can, find a professor, find a supervisor who can kind of sponsor your research in that field for a little bit. And if you're not sure if you like research, the advice is kind of the same. Try to find some topic that seems interesting and find somebody who's willing to take you on as a mentor or a mentee, I guess, for a couple months, a year, and see if you like it. I think that's the most important thing. And then if you're getting more serious into your research, then I think it's really important to just read a lot of the literature. So important papers in the field, current evolving research in the field. I think those things will make you more aware of what's going on. It may also help you narrow down what it is you're actually interested in. And so I would recommend, if you're kind of more serious, you already know what you're into, then a deep dive into the literature is probably a good idea.
Thank you so much for your time.
No problem.